Okay, so are you ready for this?
Always. What do we have this time?
Dragon riders, political intrigue, forbidden romance, all the good stuff.
Oh, sounds right up our alley.
Yay. It's like imagine Top Gun,
All right.
but with dragons.
I like where this is going.
And a little bit of maybe some Romeo and Juliet thrown in there for good measure.
Oh, forbidden love. Always a good recipe for drama.
Exactly. So basically, we're diving into this epic fantasy novel.
Okay.
And our main character, Violet Sorrengail,
Okay.
she's attending this intense war college.
Oh, war college is always a great setting.
Yeah.
You're going to get rivalries, tests of character, and a looming sense of war hanging over everything.
Oh, absolutely. And this one totally delivers on that front. So picture this. The world. It's called Navarre. And Navarre is protected by these things called ward stones.
Ward stones, what are those, like magical barriers or something?
Yeah, basically, think of them like powerful energy sources that keep a very real threat at bay. And that threat, my friend, is the Dark Wielders.
Ooh, Dark Wielders. Sounds ominous.
Right, and get this, they feed off life force.
So not the friendly neighbor type then?
No, definitely not. And that's where our dragon riders come in.
Ah, of course. The classic heroes, here to save the day.
Yeah, but these aren't your typical knights in shining armor. I mean, these warriors, they form a deep, mental bond with their dragons.
A mental bond. We're talking telepathy, shared emotions, the works.
Exactly. It's a connection so strong you can practically read each other's thoughts.
Yeah, that's what I call teamwork.
Right. Speaking of teamwork, let's talk about Violet's dragon. His name is Tarn, and he's a force of nature.
Oh, I bet. What kind of dragon is he?
He's a golden dragon.
Yeah.
Super proud, powerful, and man, their witty banter is just like gold.
I love when authors give dragons personality. It makes them feel so much more real,
Right. It's not just about flying high and breathing fire. It's about trust, loyalty, and facing those challenges as one.
A true partnership.
I like it. And believe me, Violet faces her fair share of challenges.
Oh, I'm sure. War college is no walk in the park.
Definitely not. I mean, there's grueling training, strict codes of conduct, and cutthroat competition between cadets.
It's a classic coming-of-age story, but with fire and magic thrown into the mix.
Exactly. And then, just when you think she has enough on her plate, she falls for her instructor.
Oh, this is where the Romeo and Juliet element comes in, right?
Yep. Enter Azaden Rierson. Skilled, brooding, mysterious. Oh, and he's hiding a dark secret.
A dark secret, huh? Color me intrigued. And what about this forbidden romance angle? Is it just about adding a bit of spice to the story?
Well, I mean, there's definitely some spice there.
Sure.
But I think it's more than that, right? It lets the author explore those power dynamics.
Oh, definitely.
Trust and, what happens when you break societal norms. And there's this thing with Xaden, this affliction he's dealing with.
An affliction, what kind?
It's mysterious, for sure. But it's not just, a random plot device. It makes him vulnerable. This guy, he's powerful, respected, but this affliction, it forces him to, confront his limitations.
Makes you wonder, what does true strength really mean? Is it about physical power or something more?
Yeah, totally. And that vulnerability, man, it creates some seriously charged moments between him and Violet.
Oh, I bet. The push and pull, duty versus desire. Classic.
It is. But it's the genuine connection between them, the shared vulnerabilities, and how they support each other in the face of danger that really stands out.
So it's not all doom and gloom then?
No, not at all. There are definitely some lighthearted moments. Their banter is fantastic, but we can't forget about the external threats. I mean, we've got the Dark Wielders lurking in the shadows.
Right, those life force sucking baddies we talked about.
Yeah.
They're still out there, causing trouble.
Yeah. And they're led by this woman named Theophany. She's formidable.
Formidable. Powerful and cunning.
Oh, both. And she's got this personal vendetta against Violet, but here's where it gets really interesting. There's a connection between Theophany and get this done, the goddess of wisdom in this world.
Wait, the goddess of wisdom is connected to this dark wielder? That's a twist.
Right. It makes you think even wisdom and knowledge can be twisted. It's not just about power itself. It's how it's used.
Very true. Power can be a double-edged sword.
Exactly. And as if dark wielders weren't enough, there's political turmoil brewing. Navarre is in these, really fragile peace talks with their neighboring kingdom, Poromil.
Okay, so we've got internal threats and external threats. Sounds like Navarre's in a tight spot.
They are. It's a powder keg, really. Clashing ideologies, those negotiations are like super tense, and there's always that threat of war hanging over everything.
So not exactly a relaxing vacation spot?
No, not at all. And then, just when you think you've got a handle on this world, boom, another curveball. Violet discovers the Irids.
Irids, what are those?
They're this rare, incredibly powerful 7th breed of dragon.
7th breed. Wow, they just keep getting better.
I know, right? But here's the kicker. They vanished centuries ago, and they can manipulate time.
Okay, hold on. Time manipulation, now we're talking. This just got a whole lot more interesting.
Right, we're talking about powers that could rewrite history, and then on top of that, there's these mysterious feathertails.
Feathertails, another new creature. I'm starting to lose track.
I know, it's a lot to take in, but these feathertails are this mythical species, and they're being hunted by Krovla, another kingdom, and guess what?
Don't tell me they're allied with the Dark Wielders.
Bingo! It's like peeling back layers of an onion, you know? Each revelation leads to more questions, more mysteries.
And I bet our heroine is right in the middle of it all.
Oh, absolutely. And she's got this secret weapon of her own, this hidden power.
Okay, lay it on me. What's her special ability?
Dreamwalking.
Dreamwalking. What's that, like lucid dreaming, astral projection? What are we talking about?
Think more like entering the minds of others, but while she's unconscious.
Wow, that's powerful. Talk about an advantage. But I'm guessing it's not all sunshine and roses. There have to be some downsides.
And definitely. I mean, think about the ethical implications.
Oh, for sure. Privacy, manipulation, the potential for abuse. That's a lot of responsibility.
Right. It raises all sorts of questions about free will and control. It's a lot more complicated than your average teenage superpower.
No kidding. This is shaping up to be quite the story.
It is. And we're just getting started.
I can't wait to see where it goes from here. It really makes you think about the choices we make when there are no easy answers, you know?
Yeah, no easy answers, for sure. And speaking of tough choices, remember Satyrdin with that mysterious affliction?
Oh, yeah. The brooding instructor with a secret. What about it?
Well, it turns out it's connected to, like, the source of his power.
Okay, how so?
He wears this relic.
A relic, huh?
Yeah, and it gives him all this strength, but there's a catch.
There's always a catch. What's the price for all that power?
Well, the more he uses it, the more it changes him. Physically, emotionally, you know. He gets stronger, but also, like, colder.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Strength comes at a cost. It's like a classic power fantasy trope, but with a dark twist.
Right. He's fighting this battle on two fronts, like against the external threats to Navarre, of course, but also this internal darkness that's threatening to, like, consume him. It's almost like a cautionary tale about power. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. It makes you question the seductive nature of power. That fine line between using it for good and being consumed by it. It's a question we all face in some way, right? Would you be willing to sacrifice your own humanity to protect others?
It's a heavy question, one that Violet's grappling with throughout the story, too.
Oh, I bet. Seeing the man she loves struggling with this darkness.
Exactly. She sees the good in him even when he can't see it himself, and she's determined to help him, you know, to break free from the relic's control.
Their relationship sounds intense. A dance between love and sacrifice.
It is. She risks everything to save him. Not because she's blinded by love or anything, but because she believes in him, you know?
She sees his potential for redemption. That's powerful.
It is. But their struggles are just like one piece of this whole puzzle. Remember those peace talks with Poromil?
Oh, right, the neighboring kingdom. Those were tense.
They were, and things get even more complicated when Poromil makes this crazy demand.
Oh, what do they want? More land, resources.
They want Navarre to surrender all their flyers.
All their flyers, but that would leave them completely defenseless.
Exactly, and it throws everything into chaos. I mean, Navarre has to face their deepest fears, you know, and it shows just how fragile peace really is.
It's a classic dilemma, isn't it? Do you compromise your safety for the sake of peace? Or do you stand your ground and risk war?
Exactly. And Violet's, like, right in the middle of it all.
I bet those negotiations are not for the faint of heart.
No, they're not. And then, as if things couldn't get any worse, the Dark Wielders launch a surprise attack.
A surprise attack? Oh,
Bastiath, the War College.
oh wow. They're not holding back.
Yeah.
So much for the safety of the War College, huh?
Right. It's this brutal battle, really chaotic, and it raises the stakes for everyone. It's a turning point in the story.
Things just got real. No more training exercises. This is all out war.
Yeah, and in the aftermath of this attack, the whole quest for the Feathertails, it takes center stage.
Ah, yes. The mythical creatures. I was wondering when they'd come back into play. So they're not so mythical after all.
Nope, they're real, and apparently they hold the key to Navarre's survival.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued. So Violet's off on a quest to find these creatures.
Yeah, she and her companions are sent on this dangerous mission. They travel across these crazy landscapes, uncharted territories, the whole bit. It's a classic quest, you know, full of adventure and danger.
Feels like a wild ride. And how does Violet handle all this?
Like a champ. Seriously, she really comes into her own. She starts using her dream-walking ability more strategically.
Not just for gathering information anymore, huh?
No, she's like influencing events, protecting people. It's pretty awesome.
So it's not just a passive ability.
No.
She's taking control, shaping the narrative.
Exactly. And along the way, she meets all these interesting characters.
Oh, tell me about them.
Well, there's Tikoris. He's a Poromish Viscount, but he seems to be playing both sides. And then there's Narelle, this mysterious figure tied to the Irids.
Okay, so we've got a double agent and a mysterious figure connected to time-manipulating dragons. Sounds like a fun group.
Right, and in the middle of all this, Violet finally figures out how to open those tomes her father left behind.
Oh, yeah, the mysterious books. What's in them?
His research. All about the Irids and their connection to the Wardstones, you know, the things protecting Navarre from the Dark Wielders.
So, basically the key to saving the world.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But it also reveals, like, this darker side to her father's legacy, you know, the lengths he went to protect Navarre.
It makes you think about those tough questions, right? The ends justifying the means, the unintended consequences. Even with the best intentions, things can go wrong.
Yeah, it's complicated. And speaking of complicated, remember his Aden and his struggle with that relic?
Oh, right, the whole becoming a dark wielder thing. What happens with that?
Well, the truth comes out, and it's not good. Turns out he's not just battling a curse. He's actually, like, becoming more like the Dark Wielders every time he uses the relic's power.
Oh, no, that's bad news.
Ugh.
So the man she loves is turning into the very enemy they're fighting. Talk about a heartbreaking situation.
It is. And the thing is, he knows it's happening. He's trapped. He wants to protect people, but he's terrified of the darkness inside him.
It's a classic tragic hero, isn't it? Makes you really feel for him.
It does. And it just highlights how, you know, it's not just about these epic battles and magic. It's about the real human cost of this conflict, the sacrifices, the impossible choices people have to make.
Definitely adds a layer of depth to the whole story. Makes it more than just good versus evil. Talk about a tough spot, right?
Right.
And the man she loves is becoming the enemy, and the fate of, well, an entire continent is on her shoulders.
It's a lot. But she doesn't, like, fall apart or anything. She gets even more determined, you know, to find a way to save Exaden, but without, you know, compromising everything.
She's a strong one, that Violet.
She is. And that's where her dream walking really comes into play. Remember how you were saying it's more than just, you know, reading minds?
Right. It's got that deeper connection to the Irids and their whole time magic thing.
Exactly. And she starts, like, realizing just how powerful it really is. It's not just seeing into people's minds, it's influencing them.
Whoa. That's a whole other level.
Right. It's like she's tapping into this hidden network.
Like a web of consciousness or something.
Yeah, something like that. And as she learns to use it, she starts to see the world differently.
It's got to be both amazing and kind of terrifying.
Right.
Having that kind of power.
Totally. I mean, it gives her this huge advantage against the Dark Wielders, but where do you draw the line, you know? When you can, like, influence people's thoughts.
Yeah, that's a tough one. And it's something she really struggles with.
She does, but she's also, like, becoming a better leader through all this. More self-aware, responsible.
Learning the hard way, I guess.
Yeah.
But hey, sometimes that's the best way to learn.
True. And she's going to need every bit of that strength and smarts because things are about to go from bad to worse.
Uh-oh. What happens now?
Theophany, the leader of the Dark Wielders, she kidnaps Violet's sister, Mira.
Oh, man. That's a low blow, using family like that.
Right. She knows how to hit Violet where it hurts. And she makes this impossible demand. Violet and Xaden have to surrender or Mira dies.
Talk about a no-win situation. It's like the ultimate test, you know. What would you do?
It's tough. But Violet, she doesn't just, like, break down. She pulls herself together and starts, you know, planning.
That's our girl.
thinking under pressure. Right. She rallies her allies, the other dragon riders, the Irids, even Dun, the goddess of wisdom, gets involved.
Wow. So it's all coming to a head.
It is. The final battle takes place at Drathus, the heart of Navarre.
Okay, so we're talking epic showdown.
Yeah.
Right. Dragons, dark wielders, the whole shebang.
Oh, yeah. It's a battle for the ages, and Violet's right there in the middle of it all, using her dream walking to, fight.
I bet that's a sight to see, turning those mental powers into actual weapons.
It's amazing. But it's more than just, throwing magic around. It's strategy, outsmarting your opponent. And Violet, she does this brilliant thing where she uses her dream walking to, turn the tables on Theophany.
Using the enemy's strengths against them.
Yeah.
Classic.
It shows that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a sword or a spell, but understanding your enemy.
Knowledge is power, as they say. I bet it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't. And then Xaden, he gets pushed to his limit and unleashes the full power of that relic. Oh, no, but that's dangerous, right? He could lose himself to the darkness.
He could. It's a huge risk. But then something amazing happens. He breaks free.
He does.
How the relic shatters.
Yeah.
And Xaden, he's not a monster. He's himself again, but stronger.
Wow. It's like that struggle, that whole inner battle, it made him even stronger in the end.
Exactly. And it's such a powerful moment. It speaks to the power of love, sacrifice, that belief in redemption. It just gets you right in the feels.
I can imagine. So what happens then? They win.
They do. Navarre is saved, but it's bittersweet.
There were losses.
Yeah, and the threat of the dark wielders, it's not gone completely.
So it's like a victory, but with a reminder that the fight isn't over. Kind of like in real life, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. But it's also like a powerful message about courage and resilience, and love.
Violet's journey has been pretty incredible, hasn't it? From that hesitant cadet to the leader she is now. It really makes you think. It does. It makes you think about what you would do in those situations. Would you have the strength to stand up for what you believe in, even if it meant risking everything?
Big questions, for sure. And that's what makes this story so good, right? It's not just entertainment. It's something to think about long after you finish the book.
Exactly. And that's what we love about these deep dives. They're more than just, summaries. They're about exploring those ideas, having those conversations.
And hopefully they make us think a little deeper about ourselves and the world around us.
And hopefully we've inspired you to check out Onyx and Storm for yourself.
Because it's a story that will stay with you long after you finish the last page.
So until next time, keep exploring those fantastical worlds and remember
the power of hope and the importance of connection.
Because those are the things that make life worth living, even when things get tough.
And who knows, maybe we'll see you back here for another deep dive soon.
Until then, happy reading.